Hello, everyone. My name is Lynn with Run It Back, and today we have Cryptid from Skull Cracker Female, the most recent champions of the Game Changers Latin America North tournament. So, Cryptid, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot.
Well, for those out there that don't know your team, do you mind introducing yourself briefly
Of
and
course.
introducing your players as well?
So my name is Cryptid. I am a duelist in my team from VALORANT. I have six teammates. I mean, we're six in total. So Lynne, she's the main smoker. She plays Astra Viper. We have Andre, my IGL. She plays Sova. We have Ivy, which scored MVP. She plays duelist as well as Flex. We basically all flex. Bufala, who plays from Duelist to Sentinel, she also flexes. Everybody flexes. And Berito, which is a flex player as well.
Yeah, that's so interesting. That's actually something I wondered when I was looking at some of your past matches. So you all seem to play different roles, and how does that work with your team? Just how do you start to decide who plays what on which map?
So we basically try everything out because like there are some maps in which like some players suck as. For example, my worst map is Icebox, which is like one of the reasons I don't play that map. I would usually play Jet on that map, but since it's not my forte, we switch roles with Ivy, for example, and Bufala, who plays duelist in those maps.
I see. Okay. And then also, so you have not like the traditional five-person roster as well, it seems.
No.
So how do you manage with that as well, having to juggle an extra person kind of with your map pool decisions and your agent decisions?
It's also hard because like there's some maps in which like some players literally cannot play at, and that's fine, right? So we use that mid player because we looked for a flex player that was able and openly able to like flex and be okay with it and like not complain about it if they don't play certain maps. And since they were okay with it, we didn't really have a hard time because a six-player roster is more like a okay, I suck at this map. Can you play this map for me? And like not take it personally, like some people
Mm-hmm,
do.
mm-hmm.
And it's like it's a job. It's a job, and we have to take this seriously and like not take anything personal.
Right. So it's just a lot of conversations to be had to make sure no one's taking it too offensive, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So how did this team kind of meet? How did you all get together to form the team?
that's actually pretty interesting. So, I started playing Valorant like just when competitive came out, and I had some friends that were like, "Dude, check Twitter. There's a lot of people looking for female players." I'm like, "Whoa." I didn't know there were like female players. That's so cool. So I looked into it. I got into a team, and the team didn't really like. We didn't make it official or anything. The team didn't like announce us or anything.
Mm.
And I met this person, Lynne, which I've known for more than a year. Surprisingly, like time flies, right? And like we like each other. We had a lot of synergy, so we stick together. And we've been in a lot of teams, and then like we won a lot of tournaments with a roster, and like a lot of people separated or some people didn't have like the skill level, and it's fine, right? That's how it goes.
Hmm.
And since we stuck together, there was like Ivy. I remember she was like, "Dude, you're a good player. I'm a good player. Let's team up." I'm like, "Dude, I love the idea." And we went to School Cracker. School Cracker is an amazing org. I love it. And there we met. It was later where we kicked another player out because like they were not really that open to flex and didn't have the time to train with us. So Andre joined us on IGL. She's great. And then one of our players, Bunny, she couldn't play because like she was Mexican, but she didn't have the nationality for that. Like she had her parents, so she couldn't play anymore. So that's why Berito joined in, and Berito like flexes as well, and it's great. Like we all do great. It's a pretty good roster. That's how we met, and that's how we are still together.
Interesting. And you brought up that idea of nationality. So in playing in Latin America, how does that work trying to put together different nationalities for a team, do you have any like cultural differences that you have to work through to work as a team, or even like any small language differences that have come up that you have to work through?
That's a pretty interesting question. Since we all speak Spanish, we don't really have a hard time understanding each other. But like to a personal level, there are a lot of like cultural differences, right? But we're talking about like super personal level. And for example, since it's a job, we don't really talk about personal things. Like we tell each other like basic stuff, no, like calls. So we don't really have our time in the game understanding each other. Otherwise, I guess there's a cultural difference, but not really
So
in the
not,
game, right?
so nothing that like impacts gameplay or something like that.
Nothing.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay. And the other thing I was interested with, as your team being put together, how many players had previous CS background or previous experience competing in any esport for that matter?
Interesting. No one really has an experience in CS:GO.
Really?
I think we all started in we all started in Valorant. I think because it's really beginner friendly and like thanks to the fact that there's a lot of knowledge in this game. Like people that want to help. We all learned a lot. For example, I had a coach which helped me a lot, and I grew a lot. That's why I could grow like faster than other female players. But like they all had previous FPS experience, I guess. For example, I was in Overwatch. I got to top 500
Oh,
just like once, right? Yeah. So I had that experience already. I had like those basics came in, and then like my friend convinced me to play Valorant because like, dude, it's CS:GO's and Overwatch child just come play. And I'm like, that sounds interesting. And everyone was the same. Like, just a little game experience familiar, but most competitively, Valorant is the first game.
wow, that's amazing. And it's interesting because I hear that story when I talk to some of the players in NA, like Valorant was their first experience. And then to see you all be able to compete at such a high level, that's quite impressive. So you're saying,
Valorant is really beginner friendly, honestly.
really?
I would think so, yeah.
And you mentioned the coach. So is there any other support systems, or could you mention more about how the coach kind of helped your team adapt to be such a competitively strong team?
Very interesting question. So some coaches like they think that if you just tell them ideas and it would work, right? But like teams have a certain play style. For example, one team could be super aggressive, the other one could be like super smart and giving the all these strats. And a coach always has to adapt to its players because like it's not always gonna be my idea is gonna be the best. So our coach was able to adapt to our players and was like, "Oh, just don't do that." And it really works for us for some reason because like since he taught us a lot of strats before and told us like he analyzed what players do, it was like this person stays here, just focus them all the time. And we're like, okay, and we went for it, right? We always play with the rental and all that stuff, and it works for us. It works for the coach, and that's how we were able to set up all this time. Honestly.
So just having the sport that understands how your team works specifically and adapt to that seems to work
Yeah.
for you. Cool, cool, cool. And so you basically were able to win the last Game Changers tournament for your region. So what is next for you all? I know with Latin America, you have kind of the regional tournaments. And if I understand correctly, your team has qualified for basically the next part of the circuit, which will come up in a few weeks, I believe.
We're qualified, and we have to keep like fighting because there's like three tournaments, like you said, and like whoever has the most points was is able to go to the regional LAN versus LAS tournament, which then is going to the Mundial. I don't know how you say worldwide tournament. So we're obviously fighting for that. We're like literally training every single day. We're training so hard. So right now we really want to go to the worldwide tournament. I don't remember the name.
Wait, I don't think there is a
And
name yet. They just call it the
right,
Global Game Changers land so far.
right, there should be a name. Like
Hmm.
round has in the mixed tournaments has a lot of cool names. I wish
Right.
there was like a pretty cool name for us too. But yeah, we're just like training really hard and trying to like um how do you say, make our level like way above. We're trying to be the really the best team there is in LAN. We're
Hmm.
training so hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was going to be my next question. Like, what is next for you all? What is your very next goal?
So I mean, a lot of us work and go to school, and well, obviously, for example, I'm about to go to college. I live in Mexico, and I have the privilege to be able to go to the United States to study, and some other people like have also the privilege to go to university to study. So it's like if we don't do well this tournament, it's probably like we're gonna focus on school because I mean it's cool and video games are cool, but like not everyone can live from this because it's kind of like I don't know, it's like an unsteady place per se because you can either pop off or you don't at all,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
And I think like if we don't win the worldwide championship, I guess for example I will retire. I don't know if all the other girls will retire, but it's like they're gonna focus on their lives and enjoy this experience, obviously, but just keep training for now until we win, right?
Mhm. And
But
how
I don't think we're all sure, honestly. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say?
Oh, no, I was just curious. So, is that something most of your players are doing, juggling either like work or school or something like that?
Yeah, a lot of people have work in school, for example. So the ages are amazing if you think about it, because Ivy, she's what, 16?
Hmm.
Bufala is 17. I'm 18. So we are all pretty young. So it's like because of the pandemic, you have been able to like be at school and home and just play video games.
Hmm.
And for example, Lynne, she's a graphic designer, so she's also in the computer. It's like it matches because if you're at home and with a computer, you're gonna be able to play, right? Like that barely free time, it's enough.
Hmm.
And well, the rest of them work, but because the pandemic is ending, well, ending, right? But
Slowing
it's
down.
like yeah, it's going to. You can like go out more and stuff. So I think people is gonna be like, our team is gonna be busier as the pandemic is gone and stuff because we won't be as home anymore. That's hard.
Hmm.
It's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's actually something I was wondering the other day. Like, as things start to slow down with the pandemic and as work and school picks back up, how many teams will be able to stay together and
Right?
how many players will be able to continue to compete and balance those responsibilities? So
Yeah, it's a totally good question,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, so thank you
I
for sharing that.
mhm. My
Uh,
pleasure's all mine.
yeah, and thank you again for sharing the story of you and your team. Is there anything else that you'd like to plug or say for today?
Mhm. I would like to say like thank you for watching this interview. Thank you for the support that you've given us. Thank you so much, really, for this interview and giving me the chance to like give more like light into Latin America scene, not only to the NA scene. We appreciate it a lot. And nothing, thank you and keep supporting us with Skull Cracker. We love our organization. Please, like, if you can, if you are interested, sometimes our streams are in the main Twitch channel, VALORANT LA, if you're interested. And yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for your time and again sharing your stories with us. And if you all are interested, please take up her offer to catch them on the Valorant channel. Like she said, Valorant LA, the Game Changers games are typically streamed on, and make sure you also stay tuned with Run It Back so that you can catch our stats and recap of the games. So thank you for joining us today and catch you all next time.
Thank you.